All right, let's just dive right in. Today, we're going completely off-grid. We're going to explore how you can build an incredibly powerful AI toolkit that is 100% yours, giving you total, and I mean total, creative independence.
Really think about that for a second. No monthly subscriptions, no running out of credits, no company looking over your shoulder at everything you make. What if you could just unplug from the cloud completely and still create incredible AI art and video? Well, it turns out you absolutely can. And today I'm going to walk you through exactly how.
But first, we really have to talk about the core problem here. You see, most creators are getting stuck in what I like to call the cloud AI trap. It always starts out with this big promise of free access, but that promise is almost never what it seems.
And this probably sounds painfully familiar, right? You get started with a new tool, you find a workflow you absolutely love, and then, right when you're getting into a creative groove, bam, you smash right into a paywall, or you run out of credits. That free tier, it was never really free. It was just the bait to get you hooked on another monthly subscription.
This chart, this really lays it all out. With cloud AI, you're signing up for recurring costs, your data's being monitored, you're always hitting these frustrating usage limits, and at the end of the day, the tech companies own your data. Local AI just flips the entire script. It's a one-time hardware cost. You get complete privacy, absolutely zero limits, and you own everything you create. Period.
So all of this brings us to the solution: running these amazing, powerful models right on your own machine. This is how you take back control. This is how you cut the cord from big tech and build a creative studio that is truly yours.
Now, to make this happen, there's one piece of hardware you absolutely got to understand, and that's VRAM. This is not your computer's regular RAM, okay? This is the special, dedicated memory that lives right on your graphics card. And when it comes to local AI, VRAM is king. The more you have, the bigger and more complex the models you can run. It's that simple.
And you can check how much you have, like right now. If you're on Windows, just follow these 3 super simple steps to pop open your task manager. Seriously, go ahead, pause and check. That number you see is your starting line for everything we're about to talk about. As a general rule, 8 gigabytes is a pretty decent starting point for video.
Okay, so you might be thinking, great, but I don't have some supercomputer with 24 gigs of VRAM. And that is where this absolutely brilliant idea comes in: quantization. I know, it's a technical word, but think of it like this. It's a super smart way of compressing these gigantic AI models, making them way smaller and more efficient, all without a huge noticeable drop in quality.
And you can see the impact right here. A full-size model might need a massive amount of VRAM, which puts it out of reach for most of us. But a quantized version of that exact same model, all of a sudden, it's something that can run on a totally standard gaming PC. This is a complete game changer for making this tech accessible to everyone.
So yeah, the most important takeaway is this: you do not need a state-of-the-art machine that costs thousands and thousands of dollars. Thanks to quantization, the power of high-end AI is being democratized, and that means more creators than ever can run it right from their own desk.
Okay, so you get the why, and you know the basic hardware stuff. Now, let's get into the how. We're going to look at the essential, really user-friendly tools that let you skip all the complicated coding and setup headaches.
These are the 2 heavy hitters you need to know about right now. First, Pinokio. It's amazing. Think of it like an app store for AI. It turns what used to be a total nightmare of code and command prompts into a simple one-click install. Then you've got Comfy UI, which is your visual playground. It lets you connect all these different AI models and processes together, kind of like digital Legos.
Now, I gotta be honest with you. There is one major drawback to local AI that can really frustrate people when they're starting out. But stick with me, because there is an incredible hack that pretty much solves it completely. And that drawback is speed. Yeah, generating video on your own computer can take time, a lot of time. Watching a render bar crawl for 10, 15, even 20 minutes for just a short clip, it can absolutely kill your creative momentum. But there is a trick. By using a very specific type of add-on, you can speed up your video generation by up to 4 times. No, that's not a typo. A 20-minute render can suddenly become a 5-minute one with almost no noticeable drop in quality. This is a massive, massive leap in productivity.
So how in the world does it work? Well, conceptually, you add a special little component called a self-forcing LoRA into your Comfy UI workflow. Just think of it like a smart guide for your AI that helps it find a shortcut to a high-quality result much, much faster.
And because it's so efficient, you can drastically cut down the number of rendering steps, which is the main thing that takes up all the time, from something like 20 all the way down to just 4 or 5.
All right, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's boil all of this down into some really simple, actionable first steps. This is your quick start guide to get you up and running without all the usual trial and error. This is going to save you a ton of time.
Okay, here are 3 pro tips. First, do not try to generate in 1080p or 4K right out of the gate. Start with a low resolution to test your prompts and ideas really fast. Once you get a result you love, then you scale it up. Second, if you want consistent characters, use an image as your starting point instead of just a text prompt. And finally, if you are on the lower end of VRAM, look for memory-saving options or toggles in your software. Trust me, they are lifesavers.
Look, this is about so much more than just saving a few bucks on a subscription. This is a whole philosophical shift. It's about becoming what I'm calling a zero-trust creator, someone who doesn't need to trust some third-party service just to get their work done.
And here's the real long-term payoff. When you run your tools locally, they are yours, forever. No one can jack up the price on you, no one can change the terms of service, no one can shut down a server and leave you high and dry. You get permanent, private, unlimited access. Your studio is effectively future-proof.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question to chew on. In an age where our creative work is getting more and more tangled up with these cloud platforms, it is a really critical thing to ask ourselves. If you don't own your own tools, if somebody else can just take them away from you at any moment, do you truly own